I am Aidan. I founded Lovingly Artisan, lovely little artisan bakery in the Lake District. We're just outside Kendal, about 12 years ago. We're also in Altrincham, just south Manchester. We are largely a sourdough bakery. We use flour from Matthews, which we always have done and we love doing. We specialise in sourdough breads. We're great believers in that sourdough honours the grain and the flour, brings out the flavour better. We're great believers in bread being, we believe, should be back at the centre of the table. So to do that, we believe that we have to use the finest flours and we have to make it in the most natural way. And then we have to deliver that story about how this beautiful grain, beautiful flour, and the way it's made makes sure that all those nutrients are delivered to the people who eat it. So through that storytelling, we've developed a really loyal, lovely customer base. Largely retail, which again we enjoy the most because we really like the contact with customers, but then we're lucky enough to supply quite a number of Michelin star restaurants, so it's very nice to be sort of respected by some of that upper level as well. My career highlight to date, that's interesting. Well, from a vanity point of view, it was to win Baker of the Year in 2019. We really enjoyed that, and that was a thrilling thing. But I have to say then, some of those other bread awards that we've won in the BIA awards and the National Bread Awards and those various things, all of them, taking part is always good fun because it sort of taking part in competitions, we really enjoy that. To get that recognition, again, is nice, but it keeps us focused. It keeps us focused all the time on, are we making really good quality bread? Are we where things are at the moment and what people want to see and what people do? And we actually like to feel that we are a bit innovative, that we are sort of pushing things on a bit. The bread that we put in the recipe book, which we'll talk about in a second, is one that we felt was innovative, and that's in the BIA Innovation Awards this year. So we're very pleased about that too. My favourite thing to bake is our Danish rugbrød. It's 100% rye bread with wholemeal rye, again using beautiful stone ground organic Matthews rye. And we mix that with various seeds and we ferment. We ferment the seeds for 24 hours with a sourdough ferment, and then we mix it with the rye and we ferment it for another 24 hours. And it delivers this incredibly tasty bread. I remember when we started making it, we would maybe sell 2 or 3 a day. We maybe sell 100 a day now. And one of the main things in the story about that is the nutrition. The nutrition that rye brings is really, really exciting. We saw Newcastle University had done a direct study, and compared good quality organic rye flour with bought antioxidant tablets, and it outperformed those antioxidant tablets in 10 straight tests. It's an incredible thing, and all that antioxidant properties, when you eat that bread, delivers to you, so it gives your body protection from various diseases and things. So rye, we should all be eating rye. So that's my favorite thing to make, and that's the reason, because we love everything that it brings. It is the best superfood in the world. For the recipe booklet, we chose to make our malted barley sourdough tin loaves, and we used the Gilchester organic white flour. We love that flour. That's our main core flour. We're very keen on the principles of organic being free from glyphosate and other contaminants, but it's actually a beautiful flour. The protein in that flour is beautiful. But the magic about this bread is we got malted barley from Warminster Maltings, which is the oldest maltster in the country. And that barley is crushed and malted. It's a malt called crystal malt. And then we cook that barley into a porridge, and then we add that barley porridge into the white sourdough. And it creates this beautiful bread with deep flavour and texture, really gorgeous colour. It toasts amazingly, but also because it's a malt, you get all of the beneficial effects in the way that the protein develops in the flour and the way that the bread keeps. So really excited about that. The barley was not a bakery ingredient. We've brought it into the bread and it works really, really well. So we like that because a bit innovative, but really tasty bread at the end of the day. My top tip for the Cotswold Baking Club is, when you're making bread, there are 2 things that are really, really important. But one of the most important things is water. If you make your bread and it's disappointing and you don't get the lift in the oven and you don't get the spring, or it's dry to eat, or your crust is too thick, look to the water. Quite often recipes are always the same, but flours change. And it might be that you need to add more water. So always when you add the water and you think you've got enough, just put a little bit more water in. And there is a French technique called bassinage, where when you're mixing your dough, you add some extra water near the end of the mix. When your dough is properly developed, you add a little bit more water, and that little bit extra water really helps. And it brings things to the bread, like it thins the crust, so you get a really nice crisp crust. It helps make it shiny. It really helps the bread keep longer. People sometimes think that if you underbake bread, it will keep better. But the truth is, if you get more water in, it will keep better. And then something that people don't notice is that if you have the right level of water and a good amount of water in, it's very nice to eat. So when you eat the bread, it's very easy to eat, and you want another slice time and time again. So water is my big secret for good bread making.